WWE Money in the Bank predictions video. So we are going to be predicting the full Money in the Bank card. This is something I would normally do earlier, but honestly, I've been down in London. I went up to Sheffield. I've done Raw, SmackDown, Cesaro meet and greets, Braun Strowman meet and greets. It's been pretty full on. So as a result, I really haven't had much time to actually get round to doing this video. So yeah, it's kind of been a bit crazy, but that's why I wanted to stream it, make sure that we had the video up just before Money in the Bank, and I've already kind of laid out the first few results. We are going to go through all of the matches. We are going to talk about some of the big rumours that are doing the rounds at the moment as well. There's so much to talk about. I think the one thing I have to mention, because I will forget if I don't mention it now, we are back tonight for a 6-hour live stream. We are going to be streaming an hour before the kickoff show. Then we're going straight through the kickoff show, straight through the main show. We're going to be covering it all. So full live thoughts, live reactions, giveaways. I've got some figures to give away. It is going to be a lot of fun. And we always get such a great turnout for those watch-alongs, those live reaction streams. Normally we get, a good couple of hundred of people joining us. It'd be great if we could see those kind of numbers later as well. So, yeah, should be a lot of fun later for that Money in the Bank live stream. So, with that being said, we need to go through the full card. We need to go through the 3 key talking points below. If you are watching and you haven't subscribed, make sure you hit that subscribe. Make sure you join us because, as we said, it is going to be a lot of fun later. So let's start, shall we, with the first match. This is for the Cruiserweight Championship. This is going to see Tony Nese taking on Ariya Daivari. Now, I am a big fan of Daivari. I really like his heel work. I think he's a very interesting heel. You see him on the sunbed. He's like an old school heel in the sense of he will do whatever it takes to win. Whatever it takes to win, he is going to cheat. He is going to lie. He's going to lie, cheat, and steal. He is an old school heel. And we haven't really seen that in 205 Live. So I could see them putting the belt on him. But I've gone with Tony Nese. And the reason I've gone with Tony Nese, they've only recently put the belt on Tony Nese. There was a lot of hype around Tony Nese. And it would seem a little bit weird to take that belt off him so soon. I've got to be honest, I went to SmackDown Live at the O2. And I watched 205 Live. And I was really impressed. Tony Nese was actually in action. And I thought he had a great match. Daivari came out and attacked him. So Daivari was the one that was kind of standing tall at the end of 205 Live. And normally, if you get the advantage on the go-home show, then you come up short during the actual pay-per-view. So that's why I do wonder, is it going to be a case that Tony Nese is going to retain? Let me know in the chat. I will jump in and say hello to everyone in the chat once we've gone through all of the predictions. Yeah, we need to kind of race through these. I can just see people in the chat on my phone. Hello to all of you guys. So let's move on. I think we've covered that one. Let's go to Daniel Bryan and Rowan, the Eco Warriors, taking on the Usos. Now, this, I believe, is a non-title match. I think this is just like a really tasty exhibition match. So the Usos are on Raw now. Daniel Bryan and Rowan are on SmackDown. It's a non-title match. I really feel like this is quite an interesting matchup. I'm totally down for this becoming a title match further down the road. I really feel like Daniel Bryan and Rowan could be a great tag team. And the Usos are a great tag team. So I think the Usos win. that could potentially set them up a title match in the future. Obviously, Daniel Bryan and Rowan haven't got anything to lose here if they lose this match. It's a tag match, and one of my biggest criticisms of Raw and SmackDown is that they keep putting single stars in tag matches. That's kind of what we're seeing here with Daniel Bryan and Rowan. It's a little different in this case because these two have at least worked together and have been together for quite a little bit of time now since the Royal Rumble. So they've been together for a good 5 months. It's not as if you're just taking AJ Styles and Kofi Kingston, you know, two superstars that just don't ever work together. So I think there's a little bit of chemistry there. There's a little bit of sense there. But the Usos are just on a different level. The Usos should be winning this match. So I would want to see the Usos get the victory here. Next up, this is really interesting. This is for the United States Championship. Samoa Joe taking on Rey Mysterio. And I've got to tell you what the big rumor is. This isn't a spoiler. It's just a rumor. There could be zero truth in this. But the rumors are that Rey Mysterio is going to have some kind of a mask match in the future. And so he will put his mask on the line. If he loses that match, he has to take his mask off. That is the rumor. Now, I feel like a man that is getting that desperate, something is going to have to happen involving Dominic. So I think Samoa Joe is going to win. I think that he is going to attack Dominic. I think this story isn't about the title changing hands. I don't think the title will change hands. I think Samoa Joe needs to be this big monster heel, and there needs to be a good reason why Rey Mysterio will put his mask on the line. And I think he'll do that for Dominic's case and for Dominic's sake. And I think the biggest story here isn't the title. I think it's Dominic. And so I expect Samoa Joe to retain. And then I think he will attack Dominic. And then I think we're going to work towards this match, which could take place at SummerSlam. The rumor goes on. And again, just a rumor, not a spoiler. I don't know if this is happening. But the rumor also suggests that that mask that Rey removes could be handed to Dominic. And then we get a brand new wrestling superstar, Prince Mysterio. This could be Dominic's arrival. Now, no idea why they've not put Dominic down in NXT. Dominic down in NXT, you know, just to get him used to things, and then let him work down there for a little bit, and he could still then get called up and be used in this kind of angle. But for this to have just come out of nowhere is bizarre. It is bizarre. No idea why they've not put him down in NXT for a little bit. Maybe they're trying to catch us off guard. Perhaps they were just desperate for us to not know that Dominic could wrestle. But from what I've heard, he's a very competent wrestler, a very good wrestler. He's been training for a long time, so we'll have to see how all of this plays out. But for now, I expect Samoa Joe to retain and attack Dominic. Next, we got Kofi Kingston taking on Kevin Owens. And honestly, very similar to what I was saying earlier about Tony Nese and Daivari. I really feel like Kofi Kingston has only just won this title exactly the same night as Tony Nese. Won it at WrestleMania, like just over a month ago. Are you really taking the title off him now? I don't think you are. It would seem crazy for me to see them take that title away. So I honestly think that Kofi is going to retain. That doesn't mean that Kevin is going to take the news well. Kevin, you know, could go ballistic and beat up Kofi after. We could see Xavier Woods coming down. Don't think we're going to be seeing Big E. I don't think we're going to be seeing Sami Zayn, because Sami Zayn, of course, now is in that men's Money in the Bank match. So kind of hard to know how this is going to play out. I've got to be honest, not a match I'm looking forward to that much. I think this card is fine. It's not the strongest card I've ever seen. It doesn't have to be, because you've got those two massive ladder matches. So the rest of the card really doesn't matter. It's, I honestly can't remember matches from Money in the Bank history. There's a few, obviously, that jump to mind. But largely, if you think back to the history of Money in the Bank, you're thinking about who won the ladder matches. That's what tonight is all about. So, yes, it doesn't matter that the card's not the strongest. People are still going to tune in for this. People are still going to want to know the results. And for me, I think this is a bit of a sleeper match. Kingston retains. Next, we got Miz versus Shane McMahon in a steel cage. There's a lot of people that are saying that this is going to continue. This feud's going to continue until SummerSlam. And it totally could do that. And if it's going to do that, then logistically you would say that Shane McMahon would win. But I really feel like The Miz is going to get the victory here. I just feel like The Miz has come up short on a few occasions now. He's been beaten up on a regular basis. Shane McMahon has got like people, heavies, if you will, stooges, to do some of his work for him. I just really feel like The Miz could do with a victory. And you can still do a match at SummerSlam, even if Miz gets a victory. You can have Shane saying that it wasn't fair, that he cheated, or whatever it might be. Or Miz could win, and Shane has him attacked. And so Shane is the one that still walks away, whereas The Miz can't because he's been beaten up. So there's lots of different things that you can do with this. I just really feel like The Miz could do with a victory now. So I would have The Miz winning here. But the fact it's in the steel cage might suggest that there is going to be outside interference. Normally, the steel cage does the exact opposite of what a steel cage should do. Normally, it actually attracts outside interference. So I think we will see some outside interference. But I'm hoping The Miz comes and emerges victorious in this. And then the final one that I've actually shown the results to before we actually get to the rest of the card. Roman Reigns versus Elias. I honestly can't see any way that Roman Reigns does not win this match. I know that they're kind of getting a little bit hotter on Elias. There was some great chants for Elias this week on Raw and SmackDown. The London crowd really getting behind that "Oh, walk with Elias" chant. I'd say that actually was one of the loudest chants I heard over the two nights. I don't think that's going to be enough for them to give Roman a defeat here. You could have, again, stooges and all that kind of stuff. I gotta be honest, I don't really want to see that kind of thing. I'd much rather just see a really good match. I'd like to see Elias in a good match. I know Elias is very similar to Daivari. He's going to lie, he's going to cheat, he's going to steal, he's going to do whatever he's got to do. He's going to use that guitar. But I would just like to see a match between these two. Roman emerges victorious, and then Roman can go on to bigger things. And actually, if you look down below, I've got an Alexa Bliss update for you. I've got rumours for Finn Balor's next feud, for Roman Reigns' next feud, and rumours about two potential huge surprises. Now, what I will say about those huge surprises, they are not spoilers, because, again, these aren't spoilers. These are just, in regards to those two huge surprises, it's more, I think, surprise on my part that no one's talking about these things. There's two things that could happen at Money in the Bank that I'm not seeing many people talk about. So we're going to talk about it. I'm going to get your thoughts on it in the chat section and see what people think. So we're going to cover all of that in a second. But we've got a few more matches to finish. So let's move on, shall we, to the women's Money in the Bank. We're starting to get to some good stuff now. We're starting to get to the tasty matches. So in the women's Money in the Bank, I've got it written down because my memory is atrocious. Natalya, Dana Brooke, Naomi, Bayley, Mandy Rose, Ember Moon, Carmella, and Nikki Cross. All of those are in this match. Of course, Alexa Bliss was meant to be in this match, but she isn't due to her injuries that she sustained. So let me know in the chat who you think is going to win this. I've seen lots of really good arguments for pretty much everyone. And I think what's really interesting, there isn't an out-and-out favourite. There isn't someone that people are saying, it's definitely this person. This is the person that's going to win. We've not had that. So it's a tricky one to call. I'm not going to lie. It's a tricky one to call. I'm going with Bayley. Now, I'm going with Bayley, and the reason that I'm going with Bayley is because I really feel like Becky Lynch is the man. She's at the mountaintop. I think her matches against Lacey Evans and Charlotte Flair are going to be very, very close. I do think Becky is going to leave with at least one belt. I don't think she's going to be leaving as Becky no belts. I'm not sure she's going to be leaving as Becky 2 belts. She might do, but I think she'll be at least Becky 1 belt. And I really feel like the biggest superstars you've got still are Charlotte, Becky, Sasha, and Bayley. It's the 4 horsewomen. Obviously, there's no Ronda around. Alexa Bliss is out injured. Nia Jax, I believe, is out injured at the moment as well. You could use this to build some new talent. You could use this to help promote the likes of Ember Moon. That could definitely happen. Naomi is probably due a little bit of a push. That could definitely happen. I don't see it going on someone like Dana Brooke, but I do think that would be very interesting. Because let's be honest, Dana Brooke isn't the most competitive superstar. But could she find herself with an opportunity during the match where all of her opponents have taken each other out and she's alone in the ring? I reckon we could get this moment later where she is alone in the ring. You've got all this carnage on the outside. And she's like, and runs over, starts climbing up. You could definitely get that now. Is she going to reach the top, get the briefcase? I doubt it. She might. That's what makes this match so tasty. Anything can happen. Very similar to a Royal Rumble. Anyone can come out at number 30 and find themselves with an opportunity to win the match. I feel that way about Dana. I feel that way about Naomi. I feel that way about Mandy Rose, who's been getting a lot of screen time as well. You've got to go for someone, though. You've got to say, okay, this is the person I'm going with. And that person for me is Bayley. I'm going with Bayley. I really do feel like Bayley is someone that really should be at that next level. She's been in that tag team. She's picked up a few losses recently. Feels like Sasha might be coming back, but I don't think we're going to see the Boss and Hood connection together. If she does come back, I really feel like they're on their singles paths now. I'm really done with Bayley and Sasha. I just don't want to see them together anymore. I'm bored of it. It's so boring. I want them to go off and be successful on their own. So that's done. I think Bayley now, with that briefcase, with Charlotte as champion, or Becky, it gives you so many options. Like Sasha is apparently back with WWE. There was a picture that was doing the rounds showing her getting on a plane during the European tour. So it looks like she is back. It looks like they've worked out their differences, or at least she's seeing her contract out. There's every chance that she gets a big opportunity at, say, SummerSlam. What if you've got your former tag partner as the Money in the Bank holder? What if Sasha finds herself with a women's championship win at SummerSlam and out comes Bayley? You've got a ready-made story there because these two were in a team together. Obviously, Sasha's not in the match. I don't think she's going to be a last-minute replacement. Feels to me like Bayley makes a lot of sense from a storyline point of view. So that's why I've gone with her. Next up, we have got, I believe it is the men's Money in the Bank. It is. So men's Money in the Bank, very similar. Very hard to call. No out-and-out favourite here. In this match, we've got Finn Bálor taking on Andrade, taking on Randy Orton, taking on Sami Zayn, taking on Ricochet, taking on Drew McIntyre against boring Corbin, and Ali as well. This thing is stacked. Stacked. They could go with the safe option, which I think would be Orton. I think Orton is, safe pair of hands. He's obviously got a very large fan base already. I don't think they will do that. I think they will try to build a new star. Vince seems to be hot on Drew McIntyre, so I could see it being Drew McIntyre. Personally, I would love for it to be Andrade. But again, let me know your thoughts in the chat section right now. Who do you want it to be? Who do you want to win the men's Money in the Bank? This is a big one. This really is a big one. You've got two face champions right now. And honestly, I don't think they're taking the title off either anytime soon. So I think the person that wins this is going to be a heel. So that being said, I don't think it'll be Ricochet. So I'm going with either McIntyre, Andrade, or Sami Zayn. And I am going to go... Are you ready for this? I am going to go... Sami Zayn. I am going to go Sami Zayn now. I could be completely wrong on this. This is a hard one to call. In fact, out of everything, this might be the hardest one to call. Because my prediction, all leading up to this, was Drew McIntyre. I just thought they're fully on board with Drew McIntyre. Why will they change their mind now? But then Raw happened. And Strowman was taken out. And Sami Zayn was put in. And it got me wondering, why would they do such a late change? Why would they change that around? There's rumours that Braun has got a little bit of heat on him. But I really don't think that's the reason. I feel like they might be going with a Sami Zayn briefcase. I mean, Sami Zayn with the briefcase would be gold. He is the kind of person you want to have that briefcase, because he's going to know how to use it well. Like, he loves to talk trash to the crowd, and I could see him, like, sneak attacking with that briefcase. He's going to be someone that's going to tease cashing in quite a lot. You're not going to get just one cash in with Sami Zayn. He is going to come belting down to the ring, tease cashing it in, change his mind, walk away. Kind of a little bit similar to what we saw with Carmella a couple of years ago. She, like, tried to cash in on a few occasions. I could see Sami Zayn doing that. We never got that last year with Strowman. Strowman basically just handed his briefcase over and had his match, didn't he? And it was all a bit flat. I think WWE feel that way as well, that that didn't work. So I think they want to go back to that big cash-in moment, that exciting moment. Sami Zayn is someone that's been around for a while. WWE know that even though he's a heel at the moment, the fans love him. He's got that respect because of, you know, he was big on the indies. He was big down in NXT. He's obviously been out injured for a long time. Just kind of feels like he's not really had his opportunity. This could be his opportunity. Maybe that's why they put him in lastminute.com. So, I don't know. I kind of look at it now and I think Drew McIntyre doesn't need Money in the Bank to actually win a title. I feel like Sami Zayn does. Maybe it's just that touch too early for Andrade. Maybe it's that touch too early for Ali. Don't know. It's a tough one to call. Let me know your thoughts in the chat right now. I would absolutely love to know who people think's going to be winning this. I really feel, though, if we come out of this with Sami Zayn and Bayley as the two Money in the Bank winners, I think it's been an exciting show. I'm excited for the future, because the alternative could be Randy Orton, which, you know, we've been there, done that many, many times, and Natalya, who I have got nothing against Natalya. I think she's arguably the best female wrestler they have on the roster. But there's more exciting options, isn't there? It's as simple as that. There's more exciting options. Natalya's role for me now is someone that is there to develop the next generation. She's had some title runs, and she's been in some big feuds. She's the kind of person that, like, Nikki Cross should be having a bit of a feud with, or Lacey Evans should be having a little bit of a feud with after Becky Lynch. She's the kind of person that can put women through their paces. But imagine if it is Orton and Natalya. I would much rather see Bayley and Sami Zayn. Right, we need to move on. The next one, I've kind of already answered it within that last one. I think Seth Retains. I think AJ Styles is a fantastic wrestler. I think he's had some great championship runs. But again, we're only going back to WrestleMania. We're only going back just over 4 or 5 weeks ago. maybe a touch longer, maybe 6 weeks ago. Seth Rollins won on the same night as Kofi Kingston, on the same night as Tony Nese. Why take the title off him now? It doesn't make any sense. What does the company gain by putting that title onto AJ Styles? What does the company gain? I mean, I would say, in regards to popularity, I would imagine that Seth and AJ are like neck and neck. Like, you can't split them apart. I think Seth was on the cover of a 2K game, and then the next year it was AJ Styles. Like, they're both... Really, you had Monday night Rollins, and then on Tuesday night, that was the show that AJ Styles built, the house that AJ built. So they were kind of the faces of their respective brands for a long time. This is a big match. I think it's got lost in the shuffle. I don't think this is the right show for this match. I feel like the excitement here is all about the ladder matches. People are not talking about Seth Rollins versus AJ Styles. And that's a bit of a problem, because people should be talking about Seth Rollins against AJ Styles. But they're not. So, yeah, I really feel that Seth is going to emerge victorious here. And I don't know, maybe this feud continues. Maybe we get this again at SummerSlam or the next pay-per-view, whatever that would be. Probably not Super Showdown. But whatever it is in June, July, I can't remember anymore. They keep moving them around. I know we've got Stomping Ground coming up as well soon. But, yeah, look, I think Seth retains here, and we'll worry about the future in the future. That brings me to the two final predictions. Becky Lynch versus Lacey Evans. I am going to go with Becky Lynch here. I feel like it's too soon for Lacey Evans. It'll be interesting to know what order, though, because if it's Becky Lynch versus Charlotte first, Charlotte could destroy Becky, really do a number on her, and then Lacey Evans could pick up an easy victory. So Lacey could walk out as the champ. I don't see why they would do that. I don't see what they've got to gain by putting that title on Lacey Evans. I suppose then you could have Becky chasing it, but I really feel like there's more value in Becky 2 belts. She's got that shirt. I think Becky is going to beat Lacey. My problem is the next one. I don't know. They could easily put this onto Charlotte. Because then Becky could move over to Raw. You got Charlotte on SmackDown. Becky as the champ on the one brand. Charlotte on the champ as the other. Bayley with the Money in the Bank. Obviously friends with both of them. You add Sasha into that mix. You've just got such a tasty cocktail of options then. That would feel like a really good move. But as I just said, I think there's real value in Becky 2 belts. I think there's real value in having Becky work both shows. And then what do you do with Charlotte if Charlotte isn't the champion? So I'm going to say that we get Becky versus Lacey first. And I think Lacey's going to do a good job, but she'll fall just short. And then I think it will be an easier match for Charlotte. So I'm going to say Charlotte Flair. I'm going to go with Charlotte Flair. So that is it, guys. Those are my predictions. I could be wrong on some of those. I'm really not sure about the men's Money in the Bank, but I've gone with Sami Zayn. I'm really not sure about the Becky Lynch Charlotte Flair match, but I just feel like Charlotte could do with a victory. She needs something to brag about. Plus, if she's just beaten a weakened Becky doesn't really lose any face. So again, from a creative point of view, I think it makes total sense. So I'm going to go with that. Before we jump into my 3 points below, I'm going to jump over to people in the chat. Hello, how is everyone there? Tristan says, I agree with everything. You probably shouldn't. You probably shouldn't agree with everything because even I'm not sure I've called everything right, but I've kind of given you my reasonings as to why I think those things will go down that way. Shout out to National Wrestling. Wrestling Night Wrestling says Finn will win. Finn could win. He could have an Intercontinental Championship here and a Money in the Bank here. That could definitely happen. Hello to Cool Chris. Hello to Sudipta. Yeah, I said that right. Will One Ill, shout out to you. Shout out to Nathan Hart as well. Shout out to Finley. I'm going to be here a long time if I keep doing all these shout outs. Shout out to Thomas. You was my last shout out. Some really good points though in the chat. Let's go down to these points down here. So Alexa Bliss, she has sent a tweet out saying, answering someone that said they were worried for her career. Obviously, she was meant to be in this women's Money in the Bank match. There's been a lot of talk that, you know, her career could be in jeopardy because clearly there's something wrong because she got over her concussion. She hasn't appeared to suffer any kind of concussion recently, or there's no reason why they would pull her out such a high-profile match. But she actually replied to someone on Twitter saying her career is just fine. Thank you for the concern. And also she put a little facepalm emoji, just kind of like saying, I can't believe this is what people are saying. I can't believe this is what people are thinking. Kind of suggesting that things aren't that serious. So it seems like, if you take it at face value, it seems like Alexa Bliss is fine and that she should be coming back and everything should be okay. So hopefully just a bump in the road for Alexa Bliss. So really great news, her saying that her career is just fine. And then next, what is next for Finn Balor and Roman Reigns? Again, these aren't spoilers. These are rumours. I'm just telling you the things that I've read, that people have speculated about, things that people are saying they've heard. But the next feud for Finn is apparently going to be Andrade. So maybe that does add a little bit of kind of fuel to the fire of him not winning Money in the Bank. Because if he was going to win Money in the Bank, would he then go into a feud with Finn Balor over the Intercontinental title? Why would he bother with the IC title when he's got a briefcase right there ready to cash in and win a world championship? So if that rumour is true, then I think you can pretty much rule Andrade out of winning Money in the Bank. How great is that feud going to be, though? Andrade, former IWGP Intercontinental Champion, taking on Finn Balor, and obviously the Demon and the Intercontinental Championship. I think that would be a fantastic feud. Also, we've got Roman Reigns. The next feud for him is apparently going to be a continuation of his feud with the McMahons. So once he gets past Elias, then it looks like he could be going into a program directly against Shane McMahon. So Shane, I think when he finishes with Miz, will move on to a program with Roman. I think we're going to see more involvement from Vince McMahon as well. So that's interesting. I think this is going to keep Roman busy for a long time. Potentially all the way up to WrestleMania. I feel like Roman might shake this feud off just before WrestleMania. But look, Roman against Shane at SummerSlam, I could definitely see that. Roman against Vince, I don't see that happening. But I could see Vince getting someone to represent him. And yeah, I think it could be interesting. I think it could be a very interesting program, and it should be relatively easy to see out the rest of the year. So I think that's what Roman's going to do for the rest of 2019, be involved in this feud against the McMahons. And the two potential huge surprises. There's been people in the chat that have already been saying this. The first one, Bray Wyatt. I'm not seeing anyone talk about Bray Wyatt. Now, I don't expect this to happen. I don't think that Bray is going to make an appearance. And the reason that I say that is because I don't think we're done with the Firefly Funhouse. There's the guy that makes the mask, and I said this in my video the other day. If you've not seen it, it's things you need to know following the latest episode. And this really is something you need to know. And that is, he didn't know, the guy that made the mask didn't know what was going to debut. And what I said in that video was, if you had made one mask, then you would know what was going to debut, wouldn't you? You would know what was coming because you've made the mask. It suggests there's more masks. It suggests there's more characters. And also, he went on to say, we're still not done. The guy that helped make the mask said we're still not done. That to me says more Firefly Funhouse episodes, more characters that are going to debut, and let's see where we go from there. So I really think it's very, very interesting what is going on at the moment. But yeah, I don't expect to see Bray Wyatt, unfortunately, because of those reasons. But, and here's the big one. Here's one that, again, no one is talking about. This video has gone way longer than I wanted. But this could just be the little sprinkle on top just to get you thinking. Jon Moxley. Jon Moxley. What happens if he shows up at Money in the Bank, aka Dean Ambrose? Just think about that. Take a second to think about that moment. How epic it would be. They've kind of... Now, don't think that this isn't in the realms of possibility. It absolutely is. There is so much stuff connected to Jon Moxley that doesn't make any sense. Why would WWE keep promoting him when he was leaving? Why did we get that Shield's last stand? If he's about to go and go to AEW, you do not promote that guy. I mean, look what they did with Neville. Look what they did, with other superstars. Like, I haven't seen Dolph Ziggler in forever. So it's like, why would you promote him? Why would you have him on Raw week after week after week? You wouldn't. Why would you do the Shield's last stand? You wouldn't. Like, they didn't make loads of money off that. They didn't need to do that. But they kept promoting him. Why would you send out a press statement saying, Dean Ambrose, Jon Moxley, Jonathan Good, whatever you want to call him, hasn't re-signed and will be leaving soon? When have they ever done that? And then not only that, he leaves, right? So he says goodbye, does the Shield's last stand, goes. Shortly after, we get this really well-made promo. Don't tell me that Dean Ambrose went out and got that made on his own. I don't believe that's true. And plus also, there's little teasers in there. There's little pointers in there. You've got the dice for Double or Nothing. You've got the date as well. I believe it's the 23rd. And on the dice, it had a 2 and a 3. Everything's pointing towards AEW. That could be AEW very easily. Or a beautiful swerve. A beautiful swerve. What are WWE doing now? They're making Firefly Funhouse vignettes. What else are they doing? They're hiding little secret messages inside of those Firefly Funhouse vignettes. So would it be possible to make a quick one for Dean Ambrose and hit that character reset and hide a few little cheeky messages in there? Of course it would. Of course it would. It would make perfect sense. So I'm not saying this is happening. I'm saying it absolutely could happen. Because for me, if Dean had walked away, would Renee Young walk away? Are you telling me that AEW wouldn't take Renee Young? Why has Renee Young not let... Is it something to do with her contract, maybe? Maybe it's all innocent. Maybe it's her contract. But I'm just surprised that more people aren't talking about Jon Moxley. Something's happening. The guy doesn't make that kind of a promo, change his name back to Jon Moxley or Mox, and not do anything. I don't think that's it. He's retired. So he's going to compete, but will it be for AEW or is he going back to WWE? And honestly, I'm 50-50 on it. But I just think what we've seen with the Funhouse, there's a big argument that it could now be WWE that have paid for those vignettes or paid for that vignette. And he might be heading that way. So just something to have a think about. Just something to wrap your head around. But as I said, they are potential surprises because I don't expect to see Bray. I don't think we're done with the Funhouse. I'm 50-50 on Jon Moxley. He could turn up at Double or Nothing. Easy. But he could turn up at Money in the Bank. Easy. So I'm 50-50 on it. Let me know your thoughts. I would love to know what you think. I'm sure there's people that think I've lost my mind with that, but I'm just saying it's in the realm of possibility. See Wrestling, I still think the Dean thing is a work. It was announced he was leaving only 1 week after Vince said change is coming. That's a really good point by C Wrestling. Great to see you on this stream as well, C. And thanks for reminding me as well, C Wrestling, of course. Always joining us on our weekly streams, and hopefully will be joining us later because we are streaming. And I'm not ready for this. I'm still not prepared mentally for it. 6-hour live stream. We are starting an hour before the kickoff show. 1 hour before the kickoff show. We are going to be talking about the latest news, the latest rumors, anything that breaks through today. We will cover it. We will go through that. Then we're going to watch the kickoff show, which has got a couple of matches on it. And then we go into the 4-hour Money in the Bank event. That is going to be a 6-hour stream. Drop in, join us, jump out again, see what else is going on. We're going to have figure giveaways. We're going to have, hopefully, a great community of people. I can see there's a fair few people that have joined us for this prediction video. And I really appreciate that. And as I said, we are back tonight for more wrestling talk, more fun, more live reaction. Will Jon Moxley turn up? Will Bray Wyatt turn up? Anything can happen. This is one of the big five, guys. This is one of the big five. Royal Rumble, WrestleMania, SummerSlam, Survivor Series, Money in the Bank. It is that big of a deal. This is about as big as it gets. Maybe just under Royal Rumble and WrestleMania. Kind of maybe under SummerSlam. It's one of the big five, right? It's one of the big five. Awesome, guys. Thank you so much for joining us. We're doing that live stream. I'll do a review video after as well. If you're not subscribed to the channel, make sure you hit that subscribe so you don't miss all of our thoughts, all of our reactions. Give us your points of view as well. Yeah, hopefully I'll see you later on today. Awesome, guys. Thanks a lot for watching, and I'll see you again next time. Bye for now.